Hey, call me Louis. This is my spot. LuiSpot.
But now, going back in history again, looking at the radical factor in our history, I have said that we had three golden ages. Ages of great prosperity. We had two golden ages before we saw the Europeans. We had another one after the rise of Islam, disrupted by the Arab slave trade, but we had it in spite of the Arab slave trade that most of the brothers, or practically all of the brothers, don't even want to talk about.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, how is it, and what kind of people are you to have had three golden ages, and you might have a fourth one, when there are people who've lived and died without having one? What's so special about you? And what I'm trying to point to is what is special about you is your ability to produce radicals who affect social change and who challenge the status quo to the point where they can bring about social change. And this radicalism started early in our history as a people. Now, we began to challenge the norm. We began to make changes and innovations in society that ultimately would change all society. Now, during the dynastic period in Egypt, the first dynasty, impressive with Nomar or Minak. The second, kind of a holding dynasty, housekeeping dynasty. I mean, they did not move backward or forward. The third dynasty, we would produce not only a great radical, but the world's first multi-genius who would make radical changes in the society itself. Imhotep. Right now, let's deal with this early African for all of the years before he knew that there was anything in the world called a European. Most of our radical activity had to be developed in trying to get this white monkey off of our back. We developed one kind of radicalism in building a new society without precedent. We had to develop another kind of radicalism to deal with the infusion and the coming into our society of people whose word could not be taken, people who did not respect our culture, did not respect our women, did not respect our family structure. So a special kind of radical had to be introduced to deal with this kind of invader. Now, in the United States, a radical had to be special again, based on the design of the country, the intention of the country. Because this country was designed for free, white, Protestant males, middle class and up, those who agreed with the prevailing political status quo and who owned property. Everybody else was out, including white women. Now, you have the illusion that this state started off democratically when it started off not addressing itself to the major issue. Excuse me, what happened to the wall? The major issue of facing the country at the time was slavery. And this event made it a necessity to create another form of radicalism led by Frederick Douglass in the 19th century. My main point is to hook up Malcolm X with his intellectual and revolutionary antecedents. And the main revolutionary antecedents of Malcolm X is the black ministry and the black radical of the 19th century who brought us into the 20th century when radicalism began to be watered down and radicalism began to be compromised. Once again, looking at the radicalism of the United States and looking at how this country preserves itself, every time a member of an oppressed group, especially black, showed his people the face of power and what to do about it, he was either murdered, driven into exile, or driven to suicide. There is no exception. So any time any African person shows his people in this country the true face of power and what to do about it, guard him 24 hours a day and have someone watching the guards for fear they may not be honest. All right. But sooner or later, one of three things is going to have to happen to him unless you're on guard to prevent it. He's going to be assassinated, or he's going to be driven into exile, or he's going to be driven to suicide. Now, had you known this pattern in American history that goes all the way back where we are concerned, and had you began to investigate the mysterious death of David Walker after his appeal, the mysterious death of Booker T. Washington, after the last 4 years of his life, he stopped catering to whites and began to raise some principal questions about the whites, even whites who gave him money. That he was gone. And all the other, Monroe Trotter, supposed to fall off the roof of a house where he lived and where he was born and where he walked around as a child and knew every spot on that roof. Now, who in the hell would fall off a roof? They knew that well.
Yep.
Then we understand that Martin Luther King was saved so long as he advocated nonviolence, but when he raised some principal questions about power, he was on a collision course with those who murder everyone who raises that question and shows his people the true face of power. My point is that Malcolm X not only relates to this 19th century radicalism, that he related to the 19th century radicalism in the African world and the radicalism in the Caribbean world, and that was the period when the radicalism of the Caribbean world affected the intellectual wedding between themselves and those in the United States and became one. Predating Pan-Africanism about 100 years before anyone began to use the name Pan-Africanism.
Now, that sums it up for this video. Did you like or do you hate what you just watched? Share your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. I encourage having a proper discussion on matters like this without having me impose my opinions and ideas on this matter. Otherwise, give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. That's the only way YouTube can know this video is so much interesting, and share it out there to more avid viewers just like you. Make sure to subscribe to this channel if you also have not done so, and click the notification bell so as to be notified as soon as I make new uploads on videos just like this. My name is Louis. Until next time, peace out.